If you've ever seen beautiful bento boxes online and wondered, how do people make those bento boxes every day without making it complicated? It seems overwhelming. Well, you're not alone. I used to be the same, and I've also heard my family and friends mention the same things. But over the past 5 years, I've been making bentos for my husband to take to work almost every day, and I've really simplified the process. Basically, I have a couple of tools and a few ingredients that I always keep on hand, and I make 90% of the lunches for my husband with those few ingredients and tools. So today I thought I would show you what I actually use to make bentos every day, and then at the end I'll show you how I put those ingredients together to fill a bento box. Bento making really doesn't have to be complicated, so let me show you how you can simplify the process. So let's talk about the 3 tools I use in almost every bento box. Firstly, the bento box itself. This is the box that I've been loving for quite a while. It's made in Japan, it's wooden, it has that really authentic Japanese feel to it, and it's also dishwasher and microwave safe. Secondly, my rectangular frying pan. These little frying pans are very common in Japan. They're small, lightweight, and easy to use, and they're especially convenient when you're making tamagoyaki, which is a Japanese rolled omelette. And thirdly, my long wooden chopsticks. There are lots of different cooking utensils you could use instead. If you prefer a spatula or something similar, that would be completely fine. For me, I just really like cooking with chopsticks. I find them so handy, especially when I'm working with small ingredients that are going into a bento box. So those are the 3 tools I use for almost all of my bento making. Next are the very basic pantry items that I like to keep on hand. There are so many things you could use, but if I was starting from scratch, I would say the basics are soy sauce, sake, mirin, and of course, salt, pepper, and some sugar. Soy sauce adds that salty umami flavor to Japanese dishes. Sake can help remove unwanted odors from meat and fish, and can also help tenderize meat, while mirin adds sweetness and depth of flavor. And if you mix the 3 together, as I'll demonstrate later in this video, you have a really simple teriyaki style sauce. Those are the basic tools and pantry items that I would have on hand if I was starting from scratch. Over the years, I've added things like dashi, vinegar, mayonnaise, and tomato sauce to create different flavors, and things like sesame seeds, seaweed, and frozen green onions to add a little more interest as garnishes. But I would consider all of those things nice to have rather than things you actually need to make a bento. You also won't see me using lots of different cute dividers, toothpicks, and little decorations you may see online. I really do think there is beauty in keeping things simple, and I personally just like having a simple, uncluttered kitchen. So after 5 years of bento making, if you ask me what you actually need, I would say 4 things. You need rice, a protein, an egg, and a vegetable. If you have these 4 things, you can make so many different bentos. The sky is the limit. So today I will be using chicken thighs, a couple of eggs, and some spinach. So let me show you how I make these ingredients into a simple bento box. Firstly, I prepare the eggs. On this particular day, I lightly beat the eggs with some salt and sugar, heated up the frying pan, and made some fluffy scrambled eggs. After that is done, I take the eggs out of the pan and then add the vegetable element. On this day, I used spinach and seasoned it lightly with some soy sauce. Finally, I make the teriyaki chicken, of course in the same pan. I've seasoned the chicken with salt and added some cornstarch for texture, but you can totally skip the cornstarch and still achieve a similar result. The chicken is cooked through, so now I'll add those simple condiments that I showed you at the beginning and make a teriyaki sauce for the chicken. You want a tablespoon of sake, a tablespoon of mirin, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and add some sugar if you like your teriyaki sauce on the sweeter side. My husband does, so we'll add the sugar. All you have to do is mix this together until it becomes a sauce. Coat the chicken and your teriyaki chicken is done. Who doesn't like teriyaki chicken? Once all the elements are prepared, all that's left to do is assemble. As you can probably imagine, this is such a comforting little bento box. You have the salty eggs and spinach alongside the sweet teriyaki chicken with simple white rice to bring everything together. It tastes delicious every time. You could absolutely finish your bento box right here, but I like adding just a couple of little finishing touches. I'll sprinkle some sesame seeds over the chicken and add a cherry tomato for a little pop of color. And that's it. Simple pantry ingredients, 4 basic components, and you've got a satisfying little bento box. And here it is! Lunch for tomorrow all ready to go. It looks so delicious that I feel like I could eat it now, but let's keep it for tomorrow. I hope this video showed you that bento box making really doesn't have to be complicated. If you just have some rice, an egg, a protein and a vegetable, you can make so many different variations. Honestly, sometimes when I'm making the bento box, I'm trying to also get dinner on the table. My husband is walking in the door from work and my 2-year-old is wanting my attention and life can be full. So the last thing I want to be thinking about is, oh no, what should I put in the bento box tomorrow? So every day I just follow the simple formula and it helps me to create lunches for my husband without the stress. Life is already complicated and full. So on this channel, I like to share the different things I do to simplify my life so that I can make space for what matters most. If that interests you, I hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much for being here and I'll see you again next week. Bye!